Renee, let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. When head coach Mike MacDonald had came over to Seattle, things really started to change on the defensive side of the ball. They made some key signings, and one of those signings in particular, talking about Leonard Williams, a defensive lineman, is seeming to be incredibly versatile already for the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're going to use him in a variety of different ways. Let's get into the two articles we have, and we'll talk more about it on the other side. The first one is a tweet from Greg Bell at GBell Seattle. It says, defensive lineman Leonard Williams says Coach Mike MacDonald has him playing not one, not three, but six positions along the defensive front in this new Seahawks defense. I think that alone is incredible, but let's go to the second part. This is from at Bucky Brooks, a respected pundit in the NFL world. Says Mike MacDonald streamlined calls with the Ravens, much like college coordinators shrink the verbiage for their players. One-word calls and conceptual language enables players to play fast and free between the lines. In addition, the utilization of concepts instead of plays allows him to make the defense simple for the Hawks while presenting an illusion of complexity to the offense. Simple for us, hard for them is the premise. And I would assume this is getting at simple to learn and simple to play multiple different positions as well. I think this is fantastic by Mike MacDonald. I think this is going to be great for Leonard Williams as well. Curious what your thoughts are on this one, Nick. But before we get to you, Seahawks fans, in the comments below, there's a couple of really great ones, especially on that one Super Bowl run. But who's your Seattle Seahawks favorite defensive lineman of all time? A lot of great options, but let us know who's your favorite in the comments below. And while you're down there, take a look at our description and check out all of the great football books that we have recommended below. If you want to expand your football knowledge and potentially get a great Father's Day gift, go and check out the description below. We've got a list of books that we would recommend. But Nick, what are your thoughts on these moves by the Seahawks?
So I think what Mike MacDonald is doing here, I think it's revolutionary, right? And I don't think that's hyperbole because I look at what Sean McVay did when he took over the Rams a number of years ago and what he did for the offense, and everyone called it revolutionary at the time. Very similar. The Rams and that kind of Sean McVay offense, they ran basically two main plays in their entire offensive scheme. They ran a zone running concept and they ran a bootleg faking the zone running concept and bootlegging away from it. That was essentially most of their offense, at least in terms of base structure. But what the Rams did is they used a million different formations and a lot of motions and shifts to make it look incredibly complicated to opposing defenses while keeping it very simple for the offense, right? We're only going to run two plays. We're just going to call a bunch of shifts, motions, formations to the defense. It looks like a million plays, looks really complicated. On offense, it's really simple. We can execute at a high level. And McVay was seen as a visionary, really smart guy, revolutionary, and I think rightly so. What Mike MacDonald is doing with the Seattle Seahawks is exactly the same, but obviously for the defensive side of the ball. This is the counter movement in the NFL we've been waiting for. The McVay-Shanahan offense, from everyone from Mike McDaniel to the Bengals with Zach Taylor to McVay himself, and of course with the 49ers, everyone's been wondering and waiting for the young defensive mind to come in and find a way to implement that overall strategy, but to do it at a high level for the defense. Mike MacDonald is that guy, right? He's a guy that's going in there, bringing his strategy, his concepts. Again, it seems incredibly complex to the offense. Seems like a million things are going on. But if you listen to Bucky Brooks and you listen to what Leonard Williams and frankly what everybody else is saying, is that it's an incredibly simple defense for the players. They get to play fast, they get to attack opposing offenses, and offenses have no idea what's going on because they have no idea how to adjust to it, right? We've seen complex blitz packages that some teams do. They try and confuse offensive lines. We see that on 3rd and 10, right? We haven't seen an entire defensive structure from every play, from 1st and 10 to 4th and goal at the 1, where the goal is to keep things simple for the defense, but to look complicated for the offense. We're finally getting it in Seattle with Mike MacDonald. I think it has a chance to literally change the game, right? I think what we're seeing out of the Seattle Seahawks defense starting this year and the years to follow, I think will have a huge impact on the rest of the football world because this is the counter movement we've been waiting for the Rams, McVay, Shanahan, 49ers offense that has done so many things over the past half decade or so. This is the movement we're waiting for, and Mike MacDonald is leading it.
Yeah, Nick, and when you look at the personnel McDonald had selected, it seems like he had a great strategy. When you talk about high-powered free agent signings, let's be honest. I mean, Leonard Williams is a very good player, very consistent PFF grades throughout his whole career, but he wasn't like, top of the list. He wasn't a superstar, I would say, not a top 10 kind of free agent, even on the defensive side of the ball. But when you bring him in and look at what he's done throughout his career, this is a guy who's played, they say 6, but so far PFF only shows 4. I'm sorry, I'm sure they're talking about different gaps and stuff like that as the one they talk about 6. But he's played 4 positions already in his career very consistently. The majority of it, he was a B gap defender, played over 4,100 snaps as a B gap defender. He's played 700 snaps as an A gap defender. He's played another 1,500 snaps as an over the tackle, straight up defensive lineman. He's played another 1,000 snaps outside wide as well. So he goes in, he gets a guy that perfectly fits what he wants to do in Leonard Williams. Like you said, this is a revolutionary new concept. And when you're teaching revolutionary new concepts, I don't think you should key in on a rookie to be the centerpiece of your defense. They already have enough on their plate learning about the new NFL, trying to get up to speed. I think going out, getting a very seasoned veteran and a guy like Leonard Williams, who's played multiple different positions very consistently throughout his career, was the perfect pickup. I think this is a guy that absolutely is going to shine in Mike MacDonald's defense. And I think this just shows, like you said, Seattle doing a lot of very smart things right now.